Hey guys, let's talk about guitar practice, the importance of it, why you should probably do more, and the things I do and use to try and get better as a guitar player. First things first, do you have direction in your guitar playing? Is that something that you're focusing on? Is there a certain technique? Is there something you're building up to that you want to be able to be better at? Something that you know you're going to need? For me, one of the things that I'm currently working on still to this day is legato. I don't know why, but it's just the hardest technique for me ever. Here's a little clip of my legato playing. All right, so you can see in that clip, there was a little bit of a mess up in that, and I just wanted to keep that as raw as possible because it is something I'm still working on. I'm not claiming to be the best guitarist ever or perfect technique or anything like that, but I do just want to like stress that like all of us like guitar players on YouTube and everything like that, we are all just humans. We make mistakes too. So if you ever like watch someone on YouTube or hear a song or something, understand that they're practicing as well. We're all just trying to get better as music makers and guitar players and stuff like that. So give yourself time to practice. That is my second suggestion to you. Now, some of you might be asking like, hey, how much time should I give to practice and things like that? And honestly, 15 minutes a day. You don't need to do anything crazy. Just make sure you get the practice in. Just like anything else, if you want to start competitive weightlifting or anything like that, you need to practice, right? Because when you're going to work out, you're practicing a movement. And it doesn't matter how much weight is on the bar, it's just making sure the movement is perfect every time. So take the time to practice. If you feel like you need more time to practice, you need to make the time to get better and to practice these things. It's not just gonna come to you. So I would recommend, if you could, squeeze in 15 minutes a day, but 15 minutes of guided practice. Now, some of you guys might ask me, Raijin, but what do you consider guided practice if it's guided practice? Practice that you know what you're working on. Things that like you're like, okay, like me, like I know I need to work on legato, right? So that's what my practice centers around. That's what my warm-ups kind of center around. So I'm not stalled in the making of music or playing covers that I want to be able to play. So for you, it might be muting, like right hand muting technique with palm muting, or like outside picking, so you can try and like do string skipping a lot easier, which I also need work on. So like that's a huge ups to me. So that's what I mean of guided practice. Do you have an exercise? Do you have a routine down that you're doing? Like you go to sit down and you're practicing for 15 minutes, right? What are you practicing? That's what I want you to ask yourself when you sit down to practice. What am I practicing? And things that I use, that I like to use for practice, is a website that I know, not sponsored. I just want to clarify that none of this is sponsored. This is what I personally like pay for and I use. I use Riff Hard. And that's just because like it's curated, everything's right there for me. If I don't know what I want to practice today, like if I'm not feeling legato for the day for whatever reason, I can go there and I can do something that they have called schedules, which is just nice quick things to practice. It's all right there for you. You can just practice, get your 15 minutes in or however long time you have, and then get the hell out. I like that a lot. Or if I want to learn from someone, like two of my favorite guitarists are Jason Richardson and Aaron Marshalls from Intervals. So like they have lessons on there too that I will do from time to time just to like warm up with stuff or just practice and try and get my technique a lot tighter and try and get things a lot cleaner. And that's the huge thing too, is make sure that everything is sounding clean when you practice. And to go with that, to make sure stuff sounds clean, go slow. You don't have to go super fast or anything like that, like super speed. You need to make sure things are staying clean. The things that need to be muted are muted, and the things that want to be played that you want to hear are the things that you are playing. So in other cases, like, you know, if you're doing palm mutes and you don't want to hear stuff ring out, learn left hand muting technique. That's going to be huge. Learn right hand muting technique with that. So other strings, so your other 6 strings or your other 3 or 4 strings don't ring out if you're on a 6 or a 7. Learn to be able to control your guitar and don't let it control you. So if you feel like something's being played sloppy, slow it down. So, and then another thing you can do after you slow things down is set things with a metronome. Once you feel like you got the technique down a little bit with your hands, put it to a metronome and play it to a tempo to get it uniform. So one note's not faster than the other or things like that. The technique will come first, then get it in time, and that's what's worked best for me. For something like that, I use Guitar Pro. I'm a huge Guitar Pro fan. I've used it for the longest time now. With all of the covers, I've used Guitar Pro to learn all my covers. I found tabs for them, and like I was just saying, parts that I've had trouble with, I slow them down. I slow them way down so I can either learn the rhythm or I can, you know, learn how fast this part needs to be or be able to make sure all my notes are playing even, right? Because the last thing you want to do is be like, oh yeah, I know this, and then you go to record it and it sounds like garbage. How many times has that happened? It's happened to me a lot because when I was younger, I thought, oh, well, there it is. Cool, I can play it, but I'm playing listening to an amp with my ears. When you go to record it, completely different thing. Which brings me to my last point today. I'm not gonna, you know, harp on anything much and just tell you guys to be, you know, be better, or, you know, all that other dumb stuff. But try and record it. If you have a computer, whether it's a laptop or it's even your phone, it kind of takes in stuff and spits out the raw audio that you're gonna get back that you may not like the sound of, right? So learn to record, and not anything crazy or anything like that. You don't have to be the next like Joey Sturgis or anything. Just learn to record yourself enough to make sure that you can get your ideas down, and your ideas down cleanly. That is going to be a huge other part, right? Because what you think you can play and what the computer's telling you you're playing are two different things. You might think you have, you know, this amazing, you know, guitar playing and stuff, and then you go and record it and you listen to it back and you're like, wow, that sounds like trash. So learn to play, learn to record, play to a metronome, slow things down, and record yourself. Recording yourself kind of like pushes forward all those flaws. And I'm not saying that like, you know, negatively of the whole fact of like, okay, well, you know, I suck, like this, that, the other thing, I can't play anything right. No, use it as an opportunity to grow from. You need to change that mindset of being like, oh, well, I suck at this, to being, oh no, this is just stuff I need to work on. This is an opportunity for me to work on and become better. These are the flaws in my playing, and I need to get these flaws out of there. Or when you go to write, stick to your strengths and work on your flaws. You should always be working on something, and I hope this helped you out, guys. Remember, just practice guitar and just have fun with it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? Anything helps for me. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.